let's get started. So we are here for a webinar on building superior customer experiences and growing our business using Interakt. Okay, let's get started. I am Nikunj Agrawal. I'm one of the senior product managers at Interakt, which is a geohaptic company. We'll quickly do a 30 minutes of session over here, followed by a Q&A for 15 to 20 minutes. The session will include we walking you through a PPT presentation, wherein we will see why WhatsApp is important and how Interakt can help you achieve your business goals. And we'll look into a detailed product demo of Interakt as well after that. So why WhatsApp is at the forefront of conversational commerce? Why is it such a big deal? Of course, the biggest thing is that it has 2 billion plus users globally, very big in India, 390 plus million consumers. It's just growing day by day. And the most important thing for us is that 50 million plus businesses are using globally WhatsApp to enhance their customer experience. What makes WhatsApp so unique? Of course, 99% delivery rate. It's extremely trusted and a reliable channel. Trust is the most important word when it comes to WhatsApp. People are always online most of the time. The most used chatting platform in the world. 80% of the messages are read within 5 minutes. 20% messages get a reply rate on WhatsApp, like very high compared to what you do on emails. We all know that, and so high even compared to SMSs. And 60 plus languages are supported across hundreds of countries around the world. Why WhatsApp solution is important for you, for your business, and what works best for you. So we have listed down 3 different categories of how you can utilize WhatsApp. First is, of course, the WhatsApp personal app. Then we have the business app, and then we have the business APIs. So you can have a look as to what works best for you. Why we think business API is great is because specifically you can do bi-directional conversations in 24-hour sessions, wherein WhatsApp has made sure that the community is spam-free. You can send in notifications, template messages, and build so much automations on top of your inbox, on top of your conversations that you do with your customers. You can connect it with insane amount of integrations and other software, CRMs. You can automate from your own website or other products that your team uses to connect best with your customers. You can send messages that are very transactional in nature. Marketing messages are not really permitted, but you can automate it to make sure that the customer journey is fulfilled while they are transacting and doing e-commerce with you. To get started, you need a approval process. You need to go through an approval process with Facebook and WhatsApp, which is help done with people like us, Interakt and other BSPs. And there is a special pricing attached with the BSP that you work with if you use a WhatsApp business API. And of course, the holy grail of WhatsApp business app is the green tick. If you want the green tick, then you have to go for the API, and we can also assist you in doing that for sure. Now, I'd just like to highlight that if you have any questions, please feel free to drop in the Q&A section. Our team, after the webinar, we will go to the Q&A section. I'll pick up questions from the Q&A. And if you have any other questions, if you even drop in chat, our team will constantly keep replying to that as well. So feel free to drop in your questions as we go along. Moving on, for WhatsApp commerce compliance policy, you need to notice that WhatsApp today only supports certain kinds of categories of businesses. So please always have a look as to what category do you fall in, and make sure that only if you fall, you actually apply for the WhatsApp business API verification. And our team will share the link to the list of this as well, and you can always have a close look at it. Now, what do you need to get started? The first step is that you need to be a verified Facebook business account. And how do you do that is you need to log into Facebook's business manager and submit the documents that they need from you and wait for them to accept your approval process. And what are the documents that you can send them? Certificate of incorporation, articles of incorporation, your MOA, AOA, bank account statements of your business, credit reports, any utility utility bills. They have a very detailed process, and they walk you through as to how you can submit the details to them for verification purpose. And it is always good to know that these documents are required and the ones that are not accepted. If you don't have a verified business manager today, please visit business.facebook.com and initiate your verification process. Only after you've done that is when you can send unlimited messages. We will also see further as to even how you can start using a free trial with Interakt without even having a verified business manager. So you can in parallel complete your verification as well as use Interakt to send messages with some bit of restrictions. Once you've done your verification, the next step is to, of course, have a business phone number. You need to have a unique phone number that you want to use in an API. Okay, so if you decide that you are using an existing number on WhatsApp business app, if you want to migrate, you need to discontinue the business app and use that number if you want to recontinue that number. Else you can get a new business number specifically for communication with customers. And after you have the number, you do the OTP verification on our platform, and then you decide, okay, you sign up with Interakt. You can choose any business provider that you can work with, and specifically how we'll see how you can do that with Interakt today. Now let's talk in detail about Interakt. Why and what Interakt is and what makes it unique for you guys to work with Interakt. Our biggest USP that we stand proud on is from conversations to commerce. We take care of everything. It's not about only talking to your customers. It's about making sure that they have a great consumer experience. And WhatsApp and conversations are just one part of it. We help you capture the CRM capabilities, the marketing capabilities, automation, campaigns, and that's what makes Interakt very unique. We have native and indirect integrations with a lot of platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, Zoho, Freshdesk, Google Sheets. You can do a lot of IFTTTs with let's say Zapier or Integromat and build direct connects to make sure data flows in very sync with the Interakt platform and your the product and other customer journeys that you have at your place. Interakt, today we are very proud to see that we have 350 plus customers on board. We have 5 million plus conversations exchanged on Interakt already. We have 15 plus integrations across different categories of, let's say, payments, GSOT, ERP, CRMs, and there's zero setup fee. You can just get started with a free trial. It's completely self-serve DIY for you. We have been trusted by fast-growing businesses in India. These are some of the companies that use us already. They range across in various categories like finance, edtech, compliance, taxation, fintech, and all sorts of categories are supported. Rather used in to build their better experiences with Interakt. Now, to get started with the product demo, what are we going to cover while we see the platform? The first is the shared team inbox as to how you really talk to your customers. Then we talk about WhatsApp templates, then how to do automated notification campaigns, and then a smart CRM for you. And we'll also talk about the APIs that we have that enable you to do automation via your own product. So let's get started with the demo. Just give me a second, please. Okay, perfect. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Just give me 1 minute. I'll also open my personal WhatsApp so they can actually see in sync as to how the messages are getting exchanged on the inbox and the WhatsApp web. Okay, awesome. So sorry for the little interruption. I mistakenly closed the browser and I'm just back up again, all set to get started. So as you can see, we are in the inbox. This is a shared team inbox where all your team members talk to your customers. Okay, so we have the all section here, you and unassigned. This is where all the chats you see are there. And this is pretty much similar to how WhatsApp web works. So let's say I have all the chats on the left, each of the chat, I can see the conversations towards the right. And I also have my personal WhatsApp open here. So I can actually show you how the real-time messaging capabilities are happening, right? So I just sent a hello to myself and I can see the message right here. I will send again a message. Okay. And it should start appearing here as well. So as you can see, the messaging is pretty much real time, and it's very fast, and there's no lag as such that you can see in talking to your customers. And what I also suggest is that my team will share you just in the chat a Wami link, so you can also start sending messages here, and we can see if any of you message, we can see those messages here as well. That would be fun. So moving on, we have a section here, as I mentioned, all section, where you see all the chats. In the you section, you will specifically see the chats which are assigned to you. You can add as many team members as you want as part of the product. And you can see unassigned chats for the ones that are not assigned to anybody within your team. Now, let's say I have this chat over here. I want to add a label to this conversation to give more context to it. Okay. So let's say, for example, I said that this is a pricing related query. So I can just map this label, and this will be assigned, and I can actually have my team filter here based on different conversation labels to get more understanding of what I should be focusing on, or any specific lead, any specific any use case that you have for your business that you can assign label for. You can even filter by any specific user. If you're an admin or an owner of a business, you want to see what chats are assigned to a specific person as well. Now, if I want, I see that the context that for the pricing query that I am doing with this customer, if I want to reassign it to someone else, I can actually click here and reassign it to one of my team members. So if I, let's say, end up assigning to Mathura, this conversation gets assigned immediately to Mathura, and Mathura will now see the chats in the you section whenever that person logs in, right? And towards the right, we see that we have these smart cards. So let's say first is the personal details card, where you see different properties attached to this user. So whenever you receive messages, we automatically capture their WhatsApp name and the number as well. And you can add all of these extra details via our APIs. So let's say if you want to add the address, any age, or any other relevant information specific to your business, you can always add these extra details via our APIs. Now, apart from the smart card related to personal details, we have tags. So you can define extra context at a user level, in Interakt itself. So let's say, for example, you want to add anything related to payments, anything related to delivery, shipping, order confirmation, retargeting. You can add all of these tags here. And again, you can use to filter these as well. We also have notes. So let's say if you want to add any internal notes here for your reference purposes, you can do that. We have events. So events are basically, again, passed via APIs. If you want to automate a lot of things, let's say if somebody came on your website, did a sign up, and you want that immediately to be sending a notification to that user. So you can fire an event via an API, which will start coming in here, and it will send a notification through them via the notification campaigns, which we'll look into very shortly. And we have a conversation history as well of open and closed conversations that you've had with your users so far. Now, what I mean by open and close, if you see a chat here, it is currently open, and I can actually see that, okay, my interaction with this customer is over. I have assigned it to Mathura, and I want to close this chat. So what I will do is I will click on close, and then it will move from this queue, and I can only focus on, let's say, the other open chats that I have, right? Now, moving on, so we see here the compose box, right? From where you can reply. We also have quick replies here. So for example, a lot of times we have noticed that customers are asking the same questions. You don't want to keep typing it as an agent who's replying. So you can just click on quick replies, and you can just add it from the settings and choose whatever replies that you want to send. And that will be sent immediately without you actually typing for it. So let's say, for example, you want to send a PDF or just a hey, welcome message, anything like that. you can just pretty much send that, and that will be sent immediately here from here as well. And now we also support links here, attachments, or even emoticons. Now, after you send all of these things, you can of course close the chat. It moves away from my queue, and I can focus on the other chats here. Now, moving on. So towards the left side, let's now go to the WhatsApp templates. Now, WhatsApp templates is a very new concept. If you are, let's say, new to the WhatsApp business API piece, let me explain you in a very simple line. So if you have not interacted with your customer in the last 24 hours, you cannot send them any message that you want to, like a hi, normal message that you would send if they have interacted with you, right? So if you've not interacted, you need to create a WhatsApp template and get it approved from WhatsApp or Facebook, and then only you can send that. Now, why this is there? Because WhatsApp really wants that if you have not spoken to your customer, as a business, you should be sending only relevant transactional messages to them. So you need to create templates, get it approved. Now, it sounds complicated, but then it's super easy. You can just create a new template. It gets auto approved or rejected within just a couple of minutes automatically via the WhatsApp algorithms that are there. And we do it automatically for you as well. So you can just create unlimited templates as well, and there's no binding on how many templates you can create. Now, let's say moving on to notifications. So notification campaigns are very useful when you're trying to do a lot of marketing, promotions, retargeting, and automation for your transactions that are happening on your platform. Now, we support two kinds of notifications. One is one-time, and then we have ongoing notifications. So one-time notifications are pretty much like when you want to do a one-time blast. Let's say you have a product announcement or launch that you're doing. You can just create a one-time campaign. If you have let's say a transactional campaign that you want to do, let's say every time there's a booking or an order on your Shopify store or on your website, if you have an tech platform, you want to send them, let's say, a reminder for a class. That's an ongoing campaign that you can send. Now, let's actually try to create a campaign quickly. So I click on create campaign. I will send up, let's say, webinar September demo. Now I will first choose my audience. I will choose a one-time campaign for now. First, I have to define the audience for this, right? So I will do a filter. So as you can see, there are lots of filters over here. I can use tags. I have actually tagged all of you guys, who are a part of this webinar. Done. And all of the people over here, you will receive a notification from this campaign. Create a message, choose a template. So this is a template that we have already pre-approved, and I can just choose it simply and give fallback value. So let's say here we have hi and a variable. So you can also define variables. Let's say if you have a link to your class or any name or any order confirmation number that you can define. And for I, right now, just I'm going to do the name and let's say hi there. And do a schedule message immediately. Set your message live. Okay. So I'm going to send it immediately. Cool. Campaign is created successfully. So when this campaign is set successfully, if you notice that the messages will start going immediately, and these are all the campaigns that we have sent so far. So if I, let's say, open any one of this campaign, let's say, let's open this one itself. So what you notice here is we have analytics on the campaigns as well. So for example, how many of these are attempted, how many of them are actually getting sent, then delivered and read and replied to. Now, this is very useful when you're trying to understand a lot of things based on what campaigns you're running as to what's happening to your campaign, right? And you can even see how many of are actually failed and see what the reasons are there as well when you're actually analyzing the campaign. Cool. Now that we know about campaigns, let's move to the smart CRM.
Nikunj, there are certain questions as well. Would you like to take them?
Or shall we do it now?
Yeah, in the meantime that we are just setting up these campaigns. It is done?
Yeah. I mean, I can pretty much just complete it. It's just a few more minutes and we can take the questions for sure.
All right, great.
Thanks, Archie. Cool. So moving on to the smart CRM. So what we have here is a list of users that I am talking to, and around 2000 users. And you can add these users via our API using our user track API, or you can add them manually here via add contact or a bulk upload. So you can actually upload a CSV, or let's say thousands of people, and they will get added to this CRM smart contact that you have. You can actually filter these, apply all the filters that you have added as properties as well to that user. So let's say if I want to apply a filter that says, the phone number is this, or let's say the name is this, it will get filtered, and I can, let's say, send a bulk notification or add tags to that customer, or even export that data. We also have permissions within the platform for you to define against all your team members that use the platform, so that not everybody gets access to export data, or let's say accessing all conversations. Or somebody wants to make sure that these team members only get access to the conversations they have assigned to. You can always define those permissions for sure. Now you also can actually define what are let's say what's the business profile going to look like for your business. So let's say if you go to manage WhatsApp profile, if you see in WhatsApp, if I click on this number, you notice that you see the category, the phone number, the email, and other business links for your business, and about us line as well. So you can actually define these things from here itself and just change it, and it will automatically real-time update, and you can always have the real-time data available here, even the logo as well. Then we also have our developer APIs. So you can actually access this from the platform itself. You can access our API documentation, our Postman collection. This is a secret key that's available in the platform itself. And my team will share with you the links to our API as well. And you can build automations on top of our platform for sending events and adding users to the platform. We also have a mobile app. Let's Android as well as iOS, and it's in beta right now. But a lot of our users use that today, and you can pretty much start using that as well. Cool. That almost brings us towards the end of our demo. Now let's probably get into the Q&A. If you have more questions, please feel free to drop into the Q&A. Archie, please let me know if there are in the chat section as well, if I should pick up anything.
Yeah, cool. So there's one question. I'll just post it in the Q&A only, so you can pick it up from there.
Sure, no problem. So I'll get started with the Q&A one by one. So Bhagya is asking, can I use the WhatsApp API for notification rather than buying and selling? So if I understand correctly, you're asking that can you send notifications in the WhatsApp app to the users via the API? So we don't directly give you WhatsApp APIs as such. What we allow you to do is use our platform to send events as they happen in your platform, and set up an OGC that sends a notification message to your customer. We currently do not give direct access to the WhatsApp APIs, because that just sort of dissolves the purpose of Interakt as a product as such, and we only are in the API business, so we don't do that. But you can definitely send notification messages via the ongoing campaigns for sure. Now, Richa is asking for how long can a conversation stay open? So there are two parts to this. So let's say when you receive a message, if you do not reply to that message, then it can be open for, let's say, 24 hours. If you want to define that you want to auto close the chat, we will be coming up with that feature. You can auto close the chat, but at the Interact level, it is always open. We recommend to actually close chats so that you can see better analytics into the platform, as that is what is concerned towards resolution of a chat. But by default, it is open forever. And usually it's recommended that you reply within 24 hours so that you can always have a good customer experience. And otherwise, you have to send template messages. Then Richa is again asking for notifications. Also, do we have to get the template approved beforehand? So Richa, as I said, the template approval is required only when you want to send a message to a user with whom you have not interacted in the last 24 hours. So even if you want to send a notification to a user, and if you have interacted with that person, you probably can even send a direct message by just going into inbox, or by just it's not necessary to create a template as such. But if you want to do the campaign route, then you have to create a template for sure, if you want to do a one-time campaign or an outgoing campaign. One person has also asked how well suited is Interact for NGOs. It's a very good question. Actually, we have a lot of NGOs who utilize our platform. This could be, to making sure that the events that they are organizing, the projects that they are taking, to send reminders, to be able to chat with the queries that they have. And it is not necessarily only e-commerce. There are a lot of edtech platforms and NGOs also, who utilize our platform. You can definitely, if you have a very specific question or a use case, please feel free to drop in a message to our Interact support. I request Archie to also post in the Vami link for our Interact support one more time in the chat box, and you can please ask a specific question if you have. Richa is also asking, are there any permissions to be taken from our customers before we start interaction on WhatsApp? Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, WhatsApp recommends, or rather I would say mandates you to collect a WhatsApp opt-in as a yes to, before starting to send messages from them. So let's say if you want to send a message, and let's say you have a restaurant or an app, where you collect orders for, let's say, your course or anything else, we would suggest that on your website have a little checkbox that says, do you want to receive messages on WhatsApp on this number? And only if they say yes is when you actually send messages to them. This is usually recommended so that the WhatsApp community is purely spam free. Dhairya asks, I only want my team members to have the chat view and no other functionality. Also, can I prohibit them from seeing customer details other than their name? Interesting question. So as we mentioned, the permissions feature, you can actually, let's say, disable the chat section for all and unassigned, where they can only see the chats which are assigned to them, and everything else you can pretty much just disable for them. So any high value item, like exporting data, or seeing the user data, looking at the billing plans, payment related details, everything else can be disabled from our permissions page as well. If you have any specific questions, please drop it into our Interact support and we'll definitely help you. Nikhil is also asking something related to team member permissioning. Suppose if I have 4 members in my team and don't want other team members to see the contact details of my customer, and also not the customer to see the contact details of the team members, is that possible WhatsApp API? So Nikhil, regarding permissions, I already mentioned that you can always disable what you don't want your team members to see. But regarding your customers never see Interact. They are just interacting with you via WhatsApp, right? So when I showed you here while I was chatting with my own personal WhatsApp, I don't even know if that business is using Interact or if it's a WhatsApp business API app. It's purely just like a normal WhatsApp chat that they are doing. So they will, as such, never get to know your your agent details unless until they share from their side. It'll just be the business that they're interacting with, which is a very great thing about business API, and you can be totally rest assured about that. Kasturi is asking, when we send notifications, do receivers get the option to opt out? So they can actually report or block you as a business. If you want them to opt out, what we would suggest is, like, we have an option to have CTAs or buttons in campaigns. So you can add a button that says opt out of this message, opt out of receiving messages from this business, and that can circle back to firing another event in Interakt, which will let's say have a user property attached to WhatsApp opted as to no, so that in future whenever you want to send any WhatsApp notifications, you would only send it to the ones which have opted yes for the WhatsApp notifications.
Nikun, can you, sorry for barging in, can you just move to the slide and just open up that where we have the Q&A slide, so that people can actually scan and pose their questions directly to the team. And also there's, like, Nikita is unable to find the Q&A option in the chat. So she has actually, certain questions. So Nikita, you'll find it somewhere on the left of your screen under chat. I think it's very close to chat. So if you can see, you can just find these there.
Archie, can you please share the Vame link? I'm finding it a little difficult right now to open that slide maybe.
Sure. Okay, I'll just ping you.
Yeah, cool. I'm here. No problem. Yeah, guys, you can always scan this and it will directly take you to our WhatsApp support. Cool. I'll just take up a few more questions, Archie.
Yep.
Okay.
People are actually asking, are we allowed to have multiple tags?
Yeah, you can add multiple tags for a user. You can also define conversation labels to the user. That is only allowed once per user, but tags can be added multiple for one single user. Now somebody is asking, can we use a prepaid number for using Interakt? To be very honest, it doesn't matter if the number is a prepaid or postpaid, because the number is just there to own the identity to do OTP verification. Once the OTP verification is done, the bill is purely like at the WhatsApp level, at the BSP Interakt level, and whatever happens to the number in terms of calls and messages, that's totally irrelevant, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Arav is asking, please provide a contact number where you can reach out to get more details. Again, please use the link Arav Archie has posted, or scan this QR code to contact support. Okay, let me see some more questions if are there. Arav is also asking, do we have standard templates built in for the first time interactions with customers, especially for NGO? Arav, unfortunately, we don't have standard templates created for you. We do have for our Shopify customers, because they are extremely obvious, like, order placed or order delivered, or things like that. But standard templates for an NGO are not identified so far, but we can definitely work with you and help you through adding those templates. So if you have any doubts or questions, so as I said, please message us and we will help you get started for sure. Now, Kasturi is asking, when we attach the Interakt API to Shopify website, do new customers automatically get added as WhatsApp user? That's a very good question, Kasturi. So we just recently launched our Shopify public app. So if you, let's say, go to our website, let me just open that. Just last month, we have announced our Shopify app. So you can just go on the website interakt.shop and click on this banner. It will take you to the Shopify app directly, and you can actually install it. and the sync is always happening real time. So let's say when you do the sync, install the app for the first time, all your user data, order data, it gets imported, and whenever any order is placed, any user is added, any shipment happens, you can all automate that, and it can always be in sync for sure. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to message. We love to see Shopify, WooCommerce, any e-commerce store owners utilize Interakt, and they are one of the power users of Interakt for sure. So we'd love to help you if you have any more questions. Richa is asking, what's the maximum customers who can be sent the message in one go? So Richa, this depends on the tier that you are on. So let's say when you start, you are on 1,000 per day tier. What that means is you can send 1,000 notifications irrespective of number of users. And on the next day, it resets after the 24 hours, you can send again 1,000 notifications. It can increase to tier 2, which is let's say 10,000 a day, then 100,000, depends on what your activity is. So it really depends on what tier you are on, but getting started with, you can do 1,000 if you are a verified business for sure. Cool. Archie, please let me know if there are any specific questions that maybe I have missed. We'll just maybe wait for 2-3 more minutes. I'll take a few questions from here. Nikita is asking how to link it to Shopify. Nikita, again, as I said, you can see the website on my screen. If you go to interakt.shop, we have a banner on the top. You can click on the Shopify app banner and it will take you to your Shopify store, and you can download or install the Interakt app and connect it to Interakt, your Shopify store.
So, Nikunj, we are getting questions like, can this be integrated with a CRM?
Yeah, definitely. So, you can integrate it with possibly any popular CRM that's out there, HubSpot, Zoho, Freshdesk, and you can do that either, let's say, via Integromat, or you can do it via Zapier. You can perform a lot of automations, like making sure that the data that you have on Interakt in sync with what's there on your CRM for sure. Again, if you have any specific CRM that you have on mind, please reach out to our support, and we'll arrange a call for you to understand what really are your use cases, and we'll help you get started. Richa is asking, how does pricing work in terms of active users? This is a very important question. We define any active user with whom you have exchanged at least one message. So let's say either you have received a message or you have sent a message. It would be an active user in a given month. So let's say as part of our pricing plan, we have 2,000 unique users free in 1 month. Above that, it's chargeable. So let's say our pricing is $999 per month. It includes 2,000 unique active monthly contacts. If you, let's say, chat with 1,500 contacts in a given month, it does not get rolled over to next month. It's a proper reset. In the next month also, it will be 2,000 free. And if you exceed, you can always read these FAQs as to how much is the tier charge, specifically if you exceed that 2,000 amount. And also, this is a specific question. If you're asking about monthly contacts, you can see that 2,000, 10,000 is ₹1 per active user, or 10,000 above is 0.5 per active user. Now, also notice that when you are sending template messages, we do not charge any surcharge on top of what WhatsApp charges you for template messages. So if they charge you, let's say 32 paisa per notification template message, we just extend the same bill to you and we don't mark up anything. So in terms of pricing, we're probably one of the best in the market, and you can have a look and more detail by going to our pricing page, Nikita. Nikita is also asking, can I add templates from mobile app? Not today, Nikita. We actually do not allow to add templates from mobile app. We have started the inbox share team inbox capability today. It's still in beta, and hopefully very soon in some time, if it makes sense to add in the app, we will for sure. And but you can of course use our website. We have our website mobile responsive, so you can always go to your browser in your phone and add templates if you want from there for sure.
Nikunj, we have one question. I think Richa again wants to understand the 32 paisa template pricing. So Richa, it would be suggested if you can just drop us a query on the WhatsApp Vami link, and the team will be there. They will quickly respond to all of your queries. We have one more question from Nikhil. He says, is it possible that all the files shared between my team members and the customer in the chat are stored in a customer specific folder in my hard disk, like separate folder for each customer?
Sorry, I did not really understand. I think I saw the question here. Let me please read it out again. Is it possible to all the files shared between my team members and the customer in the chat are stored in a customer specific folder in my hard disk? So are you saying, Nikhil, that you want to download the chat data into your own local computer? If you're asking that, then no, you can't. We don't have a way to export chat data from, let's say, Interakt to your own local computer. But this is all encrypted, and it is we have different containers for each customer, and even we don't have access as Interakt to your customer data. So if you're asking about exporting chat data, it's not there as a feature, but we would love to know as to why you think that's important for you, and if it makes sense, and if we can help you in some way, please do reach out to our Interakt support, and we'll try our best to assist you. Dhari is also asking the same question: would the chats and data exchange over the number be accessible by Interakt? We do not, as in Interakt team members, have access to your chat. It's only you that has access to your chats and all your individual customers. Nikita is also asking a welcome message. I'm not sure if you can elaborate, Nikita, but if you are hinting towards setting up an automation to send a welcome message, that's a great question. We will just be releasing this feature around mid or end of this month, wherein you can just define an automation as to whenever somebody reaches out to you for the first time, what is a welcome message that you want to send them. And even an out of office automation you can set up, or even a delayed message if there is a delay in reply from your agent as well. Tarika is asking, can we add data or contacts in bulk through a CSV, or does it have to be done manually? I'm sorry if you're not part of the demo, but as we saw, you can do a bulk upload. You can upload 1,000 customers at once in Interakt via a CSV. It does not have to be manual. And also you can use our APIs to automate that as well, so that you don't even do the bulk adding by yourself manually. Cool. I think that's all from the Q&A section. Archie, if there are any more questions that you are wanting me to answer, else this looks all good.
I think we are good, Nikunj. We have already sent our Vami link to all the attendees, so they can actually reach out to us. Like just a matter of, we are just a WhatsApp message away, so they can anytime reach us. So maybe we'll have a poll about the feedback. Let's take a feedback, and guys, we will be actually posting a form on the chat. So it'd be great if you can just share your feedback on what, how was your overall experience, and also anything that you want us to cover in our next webinar. So that will be great. Any questions you have that has been left unanswered, you can always write to us there as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. If you are just thinking how to get started, you can always go on our website, interakt.shop. Click on start free trial, sign up, and somebody will reach out to you for sure shortly, and use our free trial to explore Interakt. Don't worry about verification. You can do it parallelly as the free trial is going on. Thank you so much again. Please leave a message in the poll, and see you soon someday. Thank you.